In this episode, we want to have a glance at the lifestyle of the wealthiest president in the world. How much is attributed to the president? What gender? What country? How did the president make so much money? And how does the president spend the wealth? All these questions will be answered in a few. But before then, take a few seconds to subscribe to our channel if you are yet to subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Now, who is the richest president in the world? Well, we're tempted to say that the richest president in the world at this moment is the President of the United States of America. I mean, who wouldn't expect that the White House would house the richest president on Earth right now? Well, the richest president is Vladimir Putin of Russia. Vladimir Putin was first a member of the KGB as a foreign intelligence officer for a total of 16 years. He remained here, rising in status and rank to the rank of lieutenant colonel. In 1991, he decided his time in the KGB was done and took a step into politics. 8 years later, he became Russia's prime minister until 2000 and had a second shot in that position from 2008 to 2012. And by the year 2012, the former KGB intelligence officer rose to the position of President of Russia. Of all his years in active service as a KGB intelligence officer, the Prime Minister of Russia, and now the President of Russia, President Vladimir Putin has been able to rack up the stacks in his favor. Today, with a registered annual salary of $187,000 US, the president is worth somewhere between $40 and $70 billion. The metric sites can't seem to agree on the amount. With this much value, he takes the top spot from Bhumibol Adulyadej, the King of Thailand, reportedly worth $43 million US. President Putin is, without a doubt, the richest president in the world right now. How does his wealth translate into his living expenses? To be honest, there are a number of rumors about how this president has been able to pile up this much money from his recorded annual salary alone. Some have speculated that the bulk of his net worth comes from extortion and theft. No one really knows. What we do know, however, is that President Putin has a number of investments in Russian companies. Being one of the most powerful persons in the world right now, perhaps the most powerful, we have seen or at least heard of his heavy-handed approach to dealing with political rivals and those who come in his way. How about his lifestyle? What assets does the Russian president have to his name? First, how many houses have been linked to the president? 8. 8 magnificent houses. Well, he does deny owning one of these buildings, but we have seen him deny owning 6 of these buildings before. But we'll get to the unclaimed buildings soon enough. Unlike the rest of us who own one house for all our activities, Putin doesn't. Well, he is not like the rest of us, so we can't really expect him to act like us. He uses some of these properties for work purposes, while others are solely for living. Some are a mix of work and living because even the war president knows how to live a soft life. He currently owns the Novo Ogaryevo in the Moscow region, a government-leased apartment in Moscow, the Bochara Vruchi in Sochi, the Valdai residence, and the Konstantin Palace in St. Petersburg. However, when Putin stays home, he refers to his official residence Novo Ogaryevo, not the Putin Palace. But when you have this kind of luxurious palace, why would you find it hard to lay claim to it? Well, perhaps that is because there have been speculations from the public that government funds were used in building the edifice. Although President Putin has denied claim to this house, the mere fact that he is associated with this building makes it necessary that we include it. Plus, this edifice is just too luxurious for the sideline. The luxurious $1.4 billion edifice, nicknamed the Putin Palace, is built along the Black Sea coast in Russia. It is said that this estate near the village of Praskovivka was explicitly built in this location to prevent the public from noticing what lies behind the thickly wooded mountainside. Some call it the hidden fortress of President Putin, not because it is a fortress of some sort, but because the winding road and thick woods hide it. The total land area is estimated to be 74 expansive hectares. This edifice was designed and built to hold 11 king-sized bedrooms with a number of state-of-the-art living areas. The master bedroom alone takes about 2,800 square feet. The rumored amenities of this edifice include a private theater, a Las Vegas-style casino, an aqua discotheque with a swim-up bar, a Turkish bath, a sauna, a hookah bar, and staff quarters. The chairs in the mansion's room of entertaining games cost the equivalent of $9,000 apiece. One leather sofa allegedly costs $28,000, while an ornate table with a built-in bar goes for over $49,000, with separate kitchens for meat and fish, and a private wine cellar that holds wines produced from grapes grown in the vineyard of the palace. Talk about living the true life of a rich person. At this point, we can all agree that one of Putin's luxury lifestyles is building and furnishing houses to an exquisite taste. Aside from this, what else does the Russian president do? It would interest you to know that the president of Russia is said to own 58 airplanes. This might be an extravagant number for the average human being. Still, I guess I do not have to remind you that we are currently talking about Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. 5 of these planes are said to have an $11 million cabin and have the capacity to hold 186 passengers at once. Not only does he own 58 airplanes, but at the same time owns a fleet of yachts and a private jet. Speaking of yachts, Putin owns 4 yachts, but the most amazing of them is his 4th yacht, which he named Graceful. This single yacht is valued at $1.2 billion. But if you think his $1 billion yacht is too much, you might have to hold your breath for this next fact. Owning a jet is pretty common for people of President Putin's status. But owning a private jet and furnishing it with a gold toilet? Well, that's a different ballgame. While the jet must have cost a lot of money, people remain fixated on having a $60,000 gold toilet on a ship. Would you have ever guessed Putin to be a man with an eye for great jewelry? Up until estimates of his wristwatches began to surface on the internet, people never bothered to check how many dollars he spent on jewelry. Without a miss, the Russian president has been seen wearing wristwatches of about 700,000 US dollars. But not only does he wear them, he also gives them out. In 2009, he took off his 5,500-pound black Blancpain watch and gave it to an astonished factory worker who wanted a souvenir to remember the president. Now, wouldn't you love to be gifted one of Putin's wristwatches, houses, or airplanes as a souvenir? If only wishes were horses, we would all ride. What part of Putin's lifestyle would you count as most surprising? Let us know in the comment section of this video. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it.